This video is sponsored by my good friends over at Lekato. Today we're taking a look at their MS-02 wireless in-ear monitoring system, something a little bit different for this channel. Opening up the box here, straight out of the gate, already protected in the box. And then we have some other goodies that we'll just dump out haphazardly onto the table here. Dual USB-C charging cables, so you can charge both units at the same time. Those are always handy to have. Two of these aux cables, I don't remember the exact name for them, but I digress. A headphone jack adapter, don't remember it's like 1/4 inch adapter thing. Your handy dandy instruction manual, and then of course the units themselves. You get a transmitter and a receiver, which as you can see, they were packaged very well. Here are some blurry shots of each because I'm an idiot and don't know how to unblur the shot and focus it. Buttons on the side here, clips on the back, nothing on this side. Not sure why I showed you that side, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at the MS-02 by Lekato. So once again, thank you Lekato for sending this product out for us to check out. There are links down there in the description if you want to go check these out for yourself. Highly recommend it because they're super affordable and they're just great products. So in-ear wireless monitoring systems are used by bands all around the world, big and small, on massive stages and in small clubs and bars around the world. And the problem that lies with wireless in-ear monitoring is that it can get expensive. Oh my God! Some systems are hundreds of dollars, some of them probably ranging up into the thousands of dollars, and it all depends on how many people in your group need the in-ear monitoring. Well, the cool thing with Lekato is that these bad boys right here are only $60. $60 and you can get into wireless in-ear monitoring. And I think that that is a great price to get into something like this, because this is dead simple to use. I mean, you have the two pieces here that I showed you. These are the main kind of components here. The transmitter is going to go into your source, right? So if you have a speaker or not a cabinet, but like an amp or like a pedal or whatever, like a multi-effects pedal that you're trying to transmit the sound for, you would plug the transmitter into that, and then the receiver is where you plug in your headphones so you can monitor it and all that kind of stuff. So here's an issue that I did have with these. I tried to capture the audio from the receiver in my interface to try to show you guys what this would sound like, but I could not get it to work, and I don't know why. But you can use headphones. Like I have some in-ear monitors that I can use, and I can put them on and it sounds fine and it works. But I could do that all day long. You just have to take my word for it if it sounds good or not. You're gonna have to kind of do that with this video anyway because I can't produce any sounds with it. But I will tell you that right off the bat, for $60, this is really, really nice to have. So this system right here touts a 5-hour battery range, which that'll get you through any show. No one's playing a 5-hour gig, right? If you are, God bless you. And then it's got a 90-foot range. So like I said, who this is for, if you're playing like a basement show or like a small club, that's more than enough room. That's very generous for what you would need. Now, something that I've heard about these is that you need to have a clear line of sight between them. So you don't want to have, you know, this over here and then like the bass player standing here and then the drum kit here and then your amp here. I've heard that that's an issue with these, but here's the thing. I've done a couple of tests with these off camera, and I didn't have any of those issues. In fact, right here to my right, I have a door that goes into a small hallway, and then around that hallway goes up some stairs into the main part of my house. And I did that with a 25-foot cable into just a little desktop amp right here, and it worked fine. I mean, I'm going through, and then right over here too, I have another room that's got like it's like a water heater storage area, right? So I was going through multiple things that could block the signal, through a door, through this wall, through stairs, all that kind of stuff. About 25 feet away, I wouldn't say 25 feet away, but with a 25-foot cable, and it worked fine, right? So I can't imagine that if you had 90 feet of clear line of sight, that it would be any different. So I think as long as you're not putting like cinder blocks in between, or you're not putting like concrete in between, even then I don't think you'd have an issue with it. So that's my experience with that. I wouldn't worry about that too much. And for $60, I mean, if you do have a little bit of interference when you have some stuff on stage, you can make room, right? But you don't have to worry about your singer or your bass player getting in the way, or your guitar player if you're using these for bass, and that interfering with anything. So there was issue number one that really wasn't an issue for me. Here's the second thing, and this is a bit of an issue. So if you were going to use something like this This is the Lekato WS80. This is a traditional wireless system for guitar, so transmitter goes in your guitar, receiver goes in your amp. If you wanted to use this in tandem with the wireless in-ear monitors, and they're on, I just realized that they're still on, let's turn those off, you're probably gonna run into some issues, because that's what I was trying to do. I wanted to see if Lekato would work with itself. Now, I don't know if it's a Lekato thing or if it's just a general wireless, there's too much wireless going on, but it didn't work as well as I thought it would. So I was doing like 3-foot range tests, then I go to maybe 10 foot, kind of just gradually going back, right? And even at 3 feet, when I would kind of slightly turn and didn't have the clear line of sight with this is maybe where that comes into play, then I started to get crackles and interference and it would cut in and out. So I would say if you're going to try to use a guitar wireless system in tandem with the in-ear monitoring system, I would say either pass on doing that, and if you can plug in, like hardwire in with a physical guitar cable, I would say try to do that, but play around with it. Do numerous tests before you just take a wireless system with another wireless system out on the road, because you're gonna run into some interference, and you wanna kind of gauge what your line of sight needs to be, how far away you can be, all of that kind of stuff, because it's very embarrassing to get on stage and have it fail on you. And then the third thing, and probably one of the most important things, is the sound quality. So I find that the sound quality is pretty good. Now, obviously, you're gonna get varying results with your distance, all of that kind of stuff. Latency is not really an issue with it. I didn't really notice any kind of latency, even at further distances. I'm sure at some point it'll kick in, but even then. And then the quality of your in-ear monitoring is going to matter too. So I have some Donner in-ear monitors that come with some of their products, right? And those are pretty decent quality. And it sounds really good through this. So like I said, I used a little desktop monitoring, or a little desktop amp, not a monitoring amp, a desktop amplifier, and I just plugged into the headphone jack, and it sounded like the desktop amp. Now the desktop amp doesn't sound the greatest in the world. I mean, it's just a little, you know, affordable little amp for practice and stuff, but it sounded like what it sounded like. So it in ear, it sounded like the speaker, which was good, you know, and it sounded fine. And again, with the range, it was fine. So I think for $60, this is highly impressive and a great way to get into wireless in-ear monitoring, or just wireless in general. So again, if you're in a small band, or if you're in a band and you need 2 or 3 of these, what's that, $180? Under $200, you get 3 of these, and your singer, guitar player, bass player, and if you need a drummer, 4 of them, a little over $200 for 4 of these? That's insane. That's great. So I think for your money, this is the way to go if you just need something either in a pinch or you want a backup. This would be a great backup. Or like I said, if you're just trying to get into it. So again, I apologize that I can't give you any sound clips. I did try, and I just couldn't get it to work. But that's not gonna be the fault of this. I think I could have been doing something wrong. You only get one of the headphone jack adapters with the 2 aux cables that you get that we showed at the beginning of the video. And I have another adapter that I was using to try to plug it into my Donner Arena 2000 back there to just get some sounds, and it wouldn't work. And then I tried plugging it into the headphone jack of that, still didn't work. So I think I was doing something wrong. I'm not gonna blame it on the system because it works fine either way. But there we go. The Lekato, what is this even called? The MS-02. I didn't even realize it had a model name. I think it says it right there on the back, but I didn't read it. But yeah, I mean, you have stereo and mono on the side. You can pair them, and then you have a mute button on the side of the transmitter, and then a volume up and down on the side of the receiver. Didn't even cover that. But yeah, these are great. I highly recommend them. For $60, you can't go wrong. So again, there are links down there in the description if you want to go check these out. Thank you very much, Lekato, for sending these out. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell notification, all that good YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.